In this example, we're going to use the first derivative test again to determine the maximum value of this function. So this function involves an exponential, but it's the same concept. So you take the derivative. Here we have to use the product rule. So the derivative of the first term, which is x, is 1 times the second term plus the first term times the derivative of the second function, which would be negative 1 times e to the power of x. So setting that equal to 0 and simplifying, we get e to the power of negative x minus x times e to the power of negative x. I'm going to common factor e to the power of negative x, so we get 1 minus x. Set that equal to 0. E to the power of negative x is never 0, so you can divide by e to the power of negative x, and those go away. And you should have 0 equals 1 minus x, which means x equals 1 is the critical number. So that suggests that if you only have one critical number and the question said find the maximum, that suggests this is going to be a maximum, but you should still verify that with the first derivative test. So if you only have one critical number, the first derivative test is a little bit shorter. So you just have to go from minus infinity to 1, 1 to infinity. List all the factors here. So the factors were e to the negative x and 1 minus x. E to the negative x is always positive, and 1 minus x would be positive and then negative. So f prime at x is positive and then negative, which means it goes from positive to, or increasing to decreasing. So this is a maximum. Now you might say local maximum, which would be okay at this point. This one's actually what we call an absolute maximum, because it just goes straight from increasing to decreasing. It doesn't start increasing again. The function is never going to get bigger than this. This is going to be the biggest point for the whole function. But if you just set a local maximum at this point, that'll be okay. But more generally, it's just a general maximum. Now you need to figure out the y value, because I think the function asks for the maximum, which would be the y value. So sub in 1 to the original function. The original function was x, so that's 1 times e to the negative 1, which would be 1 over e. So therefore the maximum value is 1 over e.